To Catch a Killer is the newest thriller on the newest. I don't know what that
The
means.
newest.
It's the newest.
It's the newest one.
It's a new.
It's the new one that we watched.
I was gonna say it's the new. Okay, so usually what I say is like it's the newest on Netflix or whatever,
Right.
but it's not on any of those things. It's actually only available to buy for $20 on like Prime or whatever. So it's the newest one on there.
Yeah.
It's the newest
Okay.
thriller to VOD,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, this stars how do you say her name? Shailene? Shailene Woodley?
Shailene, I think, yeah.
Shailene, yeah. From the Divergent movies. That's the thing, I mean, she's known best for, obviously. But anyways, her and Ben Mendelsohn. So this is a good old, like, police procedural, killer on the loose, detectives trying to solve the case before more people die. I really enjoyed this a lot. Like
Yeah, me too.
Like quite a bit. Now, I mean, I've looked at some reviews. I saw obvious dumbass quote like woke or some shit. This is just pure nonsense. I can't even read the word anymore and take it as seriously ever anymore. I'm just so sick of hearing it. It's literally thrown at everything people don't like now.
Yes.
So anyway, pushing all that dumb shit aside, I saw some like things on this being like, you know, it started strong, was boring. I was never bored.
No, I wasn't either. I was engaged the whole time.
Is it a slower movie? Like, is there not like action every 5 seconds? Sure. It actually kind of reminded me. It's a very like 90s thriller. It actually kind of has pacing like a Fincher film, like, you know, Seven, like Zodiac, like that. Now, is it that quality? No, but I thought that it was a very good kind of throwback thriller about a, you know, I'm just gonna say they're looking for a killer.
Yeah.
As far as the synopsis goes, because I'll tell you, man, this movie started out, I was like, holy shit.
It's so intense.
This is scary.
Yeah, it's
and
super.
really realistic for to modern day society.
Yes.
And it really hit me emotionally in that way. And I was very invested very quick. And I found all the characters to be super believable, very real people with very real lives. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much.
No, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. It's the same for me. I got invested really fast, and I was just like very, like, throughout the film, super engaged. And I think everybody's performance was really wonderful for the characters. Shailene, I do really like her as an actress. I liked her in the Divergent series. I don't know what else I've seen her in, but I think she does a phenomenal job in this. And like, as you said, it's very realistic and very relevant.
Yeah.
Which I can only assume that's why people were calling it woke, but it's like kind of messed up.
People were calling
to say
it woke
that.
because there's a gay couple in it.
Yeah, that too.
Which it's like they're like
For
a
like
completely
2-minute
normal
scene.
gay couple that is not like rubbing their homosexuality in your
No,
face,
it's
whatever
just
the fuck that means.
Just normal people, but it was great. You know, it's I loved the detectiveness about it. You know, like going through everything and really trying to like catch the killer.
Sleuthing.
Yeah, the sleuthing. I thought that was all really great, and I think that this film does a great job at kind of introducing. Not that other films don't do it, I suppose, but the bureaucracy and the issue with like multiple agencies trying to work together to solve crimes, and then like the news and the media and all those media outlets and stuff, and how that can all impact a case.
Yes.
So I really enjoyed that.
They do a very good job of illustrating the politics behind high profile cases like this, and how much pressure are on people, and how much people want to stab each other in the backs, and how much more goes on behind the scenes about, like, you know, people's reputations, the city's reputation. There's a lot of like bureaucracy that happens in this movie, and it never feels like overdone where you're like, okay, I get it, right? Like it always feels like it's adding to the tension of the case,
Yeah.
because it feels very realistic, but it's not also like taking up too much of the film.
Yeah.
It feels very real to that world, and you're like, man, these people suck. Like, we should all just be worrying about catching somebody, but in reality, they're like, well, we got this, like, I think it's something along the lines of like, we need people to want to live here, to work in this place and whatever, and if this place doesn't look like safe or whatever, we're gonna lose people, which is making me lose an election or whatever.
Yeah.
That stuff was like, oh my god, but it did feel very realistic.
Yeah.
And the film is definitely slower, and we do very much make three-dimensional characters that are not squeaky clean. They're not one-dimensional, as I had said. They have pasts, and they play into their decisions, and they make their decisions make sense, right? It's like we were talking about with the last couple movies we watched. There's no context to characters, so we don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. And Shailene Woodley's character, Eleanor, she's a very complicated character. She's like the anti-Clarice Starling. Clarice is very like, she's a go-getter, right? She has the spunk and she has the life in her, but she's like, she's very like, what's going on, buddy? Our dog is here just wanting our attention so bad.
Yeah.
But we try to keep giving it to him, and he doesn't want it. He just wants us not to be recording.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating.
We're almost done.
We're almost done. I promise. Yeah. So, but yeah, with Clarice, she's very like wet behind the ears, very optimistic, and thinks she can like help the system, and she's idealistic, and with Eleanor is a very broken,
yes,
like beat character,
yes,
from moment one. And I would have liked to have explored that a little more, even maybe, but the amount that they explore it in the film is good enough. I was just liking her character and her performance enough to where I was like, I would totally like to get more into her life,
sure,
and understand more. I would 100%, 1,000% watch a sequel.
Yes.
With the characters that remain.
Yeah.
Because I would really like to delve into their world more.
Yeah.
I thought that you could make a detective series out of this, with the remaining people. I would be totally into that. And plus, I thought that there was some surprises that I was not expecting, and was like, that just happened.
Yep.
Okay.
That was
wow.
That's part of like the realism too, is that it was just like so fast things would happen.
Yeah.
And they were not what you expected in a film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I would definitely say that if you are sensitive to more current affairs when it comes to like the reality of our world now, and the methods in which people kill people nowadays, this movie is pretty realistic and upsetting for sure. It feels very real, and I was impressed. I thought that this movie had a much bigger production than I was expecting it to. I thought it was going to be much more smaller scale, and we're dealing with like entire like city run, like
it was big. It was really big.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like locations that were
and extras.
Yeah, all of
big
that.
locations.
Big locations.
That's just it. We do like a big mall.
Yes.
With lots and lots of people in it. We do a whole city street with tons and tons of people. I was like really surprised by the scale
Yeah.
of a lot of scenes. I was like, oh wow, this is like a pretty major production. And it has decent ratings, but I don't know. I feel like this one isn't landing as well as I feel like it should. I was actually a pretty big fan of this one. So if you're like a big fan of like 90s thrillers that have like a slower pace to them and you want like three-dimensional characters and some surprises, I really, really liked everyone in this, and I was very pleased with this film overall. It's definitely a surprise for sure, because I didn't have any expectations with this film. I just saw it was getting decent ratings, and I was like, screw it, we'll give it a chance. And I'm very glad we did, because I was into it the entire time.
Yeah, I
For
definitely
sure.
would recommend it.
And I
for
never-
thriller fans.
I never questioned anyone's decisions.
No, which
I
is
never,
so great.
I never rolled my eyes or went like, "Oh, come on, no one would do that," or that.
Yeah.
None of that ever happened for me in this.
No, and that's wonderful. I mean, and especially in a film like this, like you can't have any unbelievable like character decisions.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great.
So yeah, definitely check it out. If you don't want to pay the $20, I totally get that. Wait for it to drop a bit. I'm sure that will happen pretty quick. But yeah, I felt like this was a kind of Fincher knockoff, but a good one, right? Like, no, as I said, don't expect Seven. Don't expect Zodiac. It's not on that level, but it's like one
similar-
tier under.
Yeah, it's a similar vibe, and if you like those films, you'll like this one.
Agreed.
So
Yeah. So let us know if you watch it, and see you in the comments.
bye.